So let's take a look at this roster, right? So we had the USA basketball, ended up tweeting this out. USA BWNT is back. 18 athletes will attend training camp December 12, 14 in Durham, North Carolina, right? Now, look at this roster, fam. Lauren Betts, Aaliyah Boston, Cameron Brink, Paige Bueckers, Veronica Burden, Sonia Citron, Caitlin, Kalia, Chelsea Gray, Brittany.
Look at that invite list. 18 names. 18 of the most electric talents in the country headed to USA Basketball's training camp in Durham, North Carolina, from December 12th to the 14th. And if you scroll through those names even once, you can't miss it. This isn't just another training camp. This is a potential super team audition for what could be the most explosive international lineup women's basketball has ever seen. Imagine Eugenie Watkins, Caitlin Clark, and Paige Bueckers sharing the same floor, running the same sets, wearing the same colors. That's not a roster. That's a cultural moment, a generational reset. But here's where the pressure builds. This list is only an invitation, not a guarantee. Actually several someones, are getting cut. And the decisions behind who stays and who goes? That's where the politics will start bubbling. This selection process could get messy fast, and nobody wants to say it out loud yet. Subscribe for deeper Court Queens breakdowns. And drop your take below so I know what to dig into next.
My goodness, man. Who's going to make the cut? That's the question. Man, honestly, seeing JuJu, Caitlin, and Paige on the same court, what in the world? What in the world is going on with that? Sonya, man, I mean, this would be a nice squad, fam. A nice squad. Oh, my goodness. Like, honestly, I would like for Chelsea and Brittany, they got to slide over a little bit, man. Allow these youngsters to go out there and get it done, man.
Look closely at the conversation online. There's a quiet assumption forming. A narrative that the young guns deserve these spots more than the veterans. People keep pointing to Lauren Betts, Aaliyah Boston, Cameron Brink, the new wave. Then the foundation layer. Paige Bueckers, Veronica Burton, Sonia Citron. Add Clark, Chelsea Gray, Brittany Griner, De'Arica Hamby, Kiki Rice, Rokia Jackson, Brianna Jones, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, JuJu Watkins, and Jackie Young to complete the 18. But here's the truth that keeps getting ignored. Chelsea Gray just led a championship team. Brittany Griner is still one of the most dominant interior presences on earth. Kelsey Plum isn't some legacy pick. She's fresh off an Olympic gold medal. These are not washed vets limping into the twilight. These are killers in their prime. So why are people so ready to slide them out of the way and hand the keys to the kids?
Anna Taurasi, she got the record of, I don't know how many goals, 8 goals, something like that. She's up there, right? But, man, I think they need to let the youngins come in, man. Let them young bodies come in and do their thing. So if we are going with, hey, we need to let the youngins get in there, my roster would probably look like Caitlin, Paige, JuJu. Who else? I add Sonya.
This is the heart of the debate. Let the young talent take over. And sure, on paper, that argument has juice. Caitlin Clark walked into the WNBA after averaging 28.4 per game in college. Paige Bueckers is coming back with a fire that only injuries can give a superstar. JuJu Watkins already has people calling her the next generational torchbearer. These players are huge. They bring charisma, fandom, athletic upside. But here's the catch. International basketball is a different language. It's more physical than college. It's more punishing than the WNBA. The spacing, the whistle, the tempo, everything changes once you cross that border. That's why experience matters. Diana Taurasi made a 6th Olympic team at 42 years old not because she was the most athletic, but because she understood how the world game works. She'd seen every defensive scheme. She knew how to survive when the whistle disappears. That knowledge doesn't come from highlights. It comes from wars.
You can give me De'Arica, that'll be 11, and then Jackie Young. That's my 12, man. That would be my 12. I know Kelsey Plum is a baller. I know Brianna Jones gets it done in the paint for the Atlanta Dream. I understand it. Right? I understand it. Chelsea Gray just won a championship, went crazy. I understand that too. K. Cop was doing a phenomenal job in the finals, actually. maybe I want to say maybe like 2 games she was showing out, and maybe the series before she was showing out. But man, I want to see these youngins.
Now we're talking roster philosophy. If USA basketball leans fully into youth and explosiveness, the 12 might look like this. Clark, Bueckers, Watkins as your perimeter engines. Add Citron, Boston, Brink, and Betts for size and versatility. Then Jackson and Reese for rebounding and intensity. Kiki Rice for depth. De'Arica Hamby as steady veteran glue. Jackie Young as your championship closer. That's a fast, powerful, highly marketable roster averaging around 25 years old. But the cost? Losing Chelsea Gray's championship IQ. Losing Kelsey Plum's Olympic-tested spacing. Losing Brianna Jones' interior defense and elite finishing. These aren't minor sacrifices. These are the pieces that win slow, ugly, international games where talent alone isn't enough.
You got the experience with Jackie Young, so you can't say, oh, they don't have any veteranship out there. You got Jackie Young. That's all you need. That's what Diana Taurasi was out there for the last time. I mean, we saw how she was performing. She was there for experience. I mean, she was telling the players how to play, how to get through things, right? She was coaching on the sideline. Although Jackie is going to be hooping. Jackie is going to ball out. Now, I guess this means A'ja Wilson will not be participating, which is fine as well because you have a lot of bigs, fam. You have a lot of new.
And that's the whole dilemma in one sentence. This isn't just selecting the best 12. It's about capturing a moment. Caitlin Clark triggered a college basketball explosion that brought millions of new eyes into the women's game. Those fans followed her. They watched Paige's documentary. They're tracking JuJu's freshman dominance. If USA basketball leaves the new stars off the roster, they risk alienating the biggest, most active fan base they've ever had. But if they overload the roster with popularity picks and the team struggles overseas, then they undermine the credibility of the entire national program. It's a razor-thin line. And with how debated this 18-player invite list already is, USA basketball is walking that tightrope with the whole world watching.
In this graphic right here lets me know that we're getting closer and closer to seeing this magic dream team, right? This USA dream team get put together, fam. Oh, it's going to be nasty work. Come on, man. JuJu, Caitlin, and Paige on the same floor. What is going on? Come on, man. What team is going to stand a chance against them? Now, as much as I like this roster and I like the idea that I can see a dream team come out of this roster,
the physicality conversation matters more than people think. The WNBA just had one of its most bruising seasons ever. Clark took hard contact all season long. Brink's ACL tear ended her year early. Angel Reese battled constant hits inside the paint. These athletes have been tested, but international ball is another universe. Overseas, the game turns into a wrestling match inside. The whistle disappears. Hand-checking is a lifestyle, not a violation. European teams build their entire strategy around beating American athleticism by turning every possession into a grinder. And that's where veterans shine. They've learned to adjust when the refs swallow the whistle. They know how to play through chaos. They know how to stay mentally sharp when the game gets ugly.
We got Kelsey Mitchel going to Project B. Another player from Unrivaled, man. It is getting scary for Unrivaled. All right, Alyssa Thomas done left. We got Kelsey Mitchel now, who we know signed with Unrivaled, right? One of the new expansion teams. She's on one of those teams. And now she's Project B in it. Next year, Project B in it. Left Unrivaled, fam. Hey, Project B is becoming a major threat. A major thorn in the side of Unrivaled, fam. A major.
Now let's pivot to the earthquake shaking the offseason landscape. Kelsey Mitchel just announced she's joining Project B for their debut season. After already signing with Unrivaled, the 3-on-3 league built by Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. Mitchell is now the second star to flip from Unrivaled to Project B, following Alyssa Thomas. And that's where the plot thickens. Project B isn't subtle. They're positioning themselves as a direct rival. They're offering full court 5 on 5 instead of the half court 3 on 3 Unrivaled is built around. They plan to sign 66 players. And they're already peeling athletes away from the competition. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens because someone is offering something the other league can't match: money, structure, schedule, or all three.
It always goes back to me thinking about that message that Breonna Stewart had about two-faced people. Was she shooting that shot at somebody she know, right? Was she shooting that at NECA? Was she shooting that at the people who are signing to Project B? Who was she shooting that message to? That'd be my biggest question. But Kelsey Mitchel signing to Project...
The big question everywhere right now is Unrivaled sweating? Because on paper, they had everything lined up. Stewart and Collier's star power, the innovative format, financial backing, a national TV deal. They positioned themselves as the off-season choice for WNBA players who want to stay stateside. But Project B flipped the script by offering what players are familiar with: traditional 5-on-5 basketball. By targeting players who already committed to Unrivaled, they're sending a very clear message. Loyalty has limits and opportunity talks louder. If Unrivaled can't match what Project B is offering, they're at risk of losing their roster before they even play Game 1.
The other players. Now, we know they're going to get 66 players. Who else are y'all going to sign? Or who else y'all already signed that hasn't came forward yet? Yeah, people feeling all kind of ways about this one right here, but nonetheless, man, she's announced it. She has announced it. I'm going to go check that account and see who else is following, because if they're following it, more than likely they're going to announce, hey.
Remember when Breonna Stewart posted about two-faced people? Everybody thought it was personal. Maybe a friend. Maybe media. But now, with players flipping from Unrivaled to Project B, that post hits way different. What if Stewart wasn't talking about some random drama? What if she was talking about committed players negotiating behind the scenes? What if Alyssa Thomas blindsided them? What if Kelsey Mitchel was the second sting, not the first? Stewart and Collier put their reputations, money, and time into building this league. Watching players commit publicly and then walk away before a single game is played, that's not just business. That feels like betrayal.
But hey, y'all let me know how y'all feel about the USA roster. How do y'all feel about Kelsey Mitchel leaving Unrivaled, joining Project B next year? Man, it's a lot going on, man. I am very, very interested in seeing what y'all have to say about these things right here. Let me know in the comment section, man. I love y'all. Y'all keep it.
So here's where the entire landscape is sitting as we head toward the offseason. And trust me, it's messier, louder, and more pivotal than anyone expected. Team USA just released a list of 18 players invited to the December training camp, fully aware that 6 of them will eventually be cut long before the final 12 take that 2028 Olympic stage. And already, the debate about youth versus veteran experience is splitting analysts, fans, insiders. Everybody has a take and nobody is backing down. At the same time, the off-season battle between two competing leagues is heating up. Project B and Unrivaled are officially fighting over the exact same WNBA talent pool. And Project B already proved they can snatch players who were supposedly locked in elsewhere. But the part people aren't fully saying out loud yet? If Project B ends up signing 66 players and Unrivaled fills out all of its rosters, you're looking at 70-plus WNBA players committed to off-season basketball. The WNBA has only 144 roster spots total. That means half the league could be hooping all year, with barely any rest or recovery built into their schedule. And we've already seen what that kind of grind does. Cameron Brink's ACL tear, Angel Reese's wrist issues, half a dozen players dealing with fatigue-related problems in the final months of the season. These aren't freak accidents. They're the consequences of non-stop elite-level basketball. Now imagine those same players finishing the WNBA Finals in October, then jumping straight into Unrivaled or Project B in January, then rolling right into WNBA training camps in April. No real downtime, no reset period, just constant high-speed, high-impact competition. The human body simply isn't engineered for that kind of workload on repeat. This is why the USA basketball roster conversations get even more complicated. If the committee picks younger stars like Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, or JuJu Watkins, they're essentially asking women in their early 20s to play a full WNBA season, commit to an off-season league, attend USA training camps, and compete internationally, all in the same calendar year. That's not just a schedule. That's a marathon inside a marathon. Meanwhile, veterans like Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young have spent a decade learning how to survive long seasons. They know when to pull back, when to push, how to manage recovery, and how to pace their bodies. Younger players? They're still figuring all of that out. And the last thing USA Basketball wants is to send a team full of exhausted superstars to the Olympics. But here's the counter-argument that's gaining steam. Maybe year-round basketball is exactly what separates the great from the legendary. Diana Taurasi played overseas every offseason. Sue Bird did too. They treated the offseason as an extension of their development, a way to sharpen their skills and build wealth. And both became icons with multiple Olympic gold medals. So maybe the worry is overblown. Maybe the players who can handle the non-stop schedule are the exact ones you want representing the country on the biggest stage. Then there's the Kelsey Mitchel angle, which complicates everything. She's 28, entering her prime earning years, and the WNBA's max salary is still miles behind what male athletes make. For her, and for dozens of players, off-season basketball isn't just optional competition. It's financial stability. It's security. It's taking care of your future. If Project B is offering solid guaranteed money to play stateside 5-on-5 instead of going to Europe or Asia, that isn't greed, that's smart business. And the truth is, players are comparing the leagues on more than just dollars. 3-on-3 rewards ball handlers, defensive specialists, isolation scorers. 5-on-5 leans on system players, playmakers, shooters, and bigs who read the floor. So someone like Kelsey Mitchel, an elite scorer, but not a one-on-one defensive monster, might naturally gravitate toward the spacing and structure of 5-on-5. That's a legitimate basketball decision, not a loyalty test. But let's not pretend money doesn't matter. If Project B is offering $100,000 for a season and Unrivaled is offering $50,000, it doesn't matter who founded which league. Players will go where the numbers make sense. That's not disrespect. That's professionalism. These women have a limited earning window and a career with physical risks every single game. The big unknown is what happens once both leagues actually start competing. Unrivaled launches first in January with national TV coverage and a whole wave of media hype. If the product looks good, fast-paced, high-scoring, star-driven, they'll build momentum quickly. But if the court is too compressed, if the play feels gimmicky, or if injuries spike, they could lose steam. Project B launches later, which gives them time to analyze Unrivaled's wins and mistakes. But they also risk entering the conversation after Unrivaled has already captured attention, fans, sponsor relationships, and player loyalty. First impression advantage is real. And running parallel to all of this is the USA Basketball storyline, which might be the most important thread. That December camp in Durham is the first true preview of how these potential Olympians mesh. Chemistry in international basketball is everything, far more important than in the WNBA. You can't just combine 12 highlight reel monsters and expect medals. You need players who complement each other, understand tendencies, and trust one another when the pressure hits. If they choose the youngest, flashiest roster, they risk losing cohesion. If they choose too many veterans, they risk sacrificing athleticism and firepower. The perfect roster sits somewhere in the middle, and the 18-player pool shows that USA Basketball is trying, desperately, to find that balance. So where does this all end up? Final roster decisions come after the December camp. The battle between Unrivaled and Project B unfolds over the next several months. And the WNBA will have to face a new reality where its players are in demand year-round, both a blessing and a potential threat to long-term health. But here's the bigger picture. This is the golden age of women's basketball. We're watching the sport explode in real time. We're seeing new leagues, new money, new rivalries, new superstars, and a talent pool deeper than any era before this one. This moment is massive, and it's only getting bigger. Subscribe for next breakdown of Court Queens.